2024.
Labor unions built the middle class, and the middle class built America. That's the message from Teamsters Local 1932, a strong and successful labor union based in San Bernardino that represents over 14,000 hardworking people across the Inland Empire. The Teamsters are ready to help you organize for better pay, increased benefits, and improved working conditions. Reach out to Teamsters 1932 at teamsters1932.org/organize to speak with an organizer today.
Located in the heart of San Bernardino, California, the Teamsters Local 1932 Training Center is designed to train workers for high-demand, good-paying jobs in various industries throughout the Inland Empire. If you want a pathway to a high-paying job and the respect that comes with a union contract, visit 1932trainingcenter.org to enroll today. That's 1932trainingcenter.org.
KCAA Loma Linda. The Legacy KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Former President Donald Trump is back in a Manhattan courtroom for day 2 of his civil fraud trial. Trump yesterday said the case against him is a move to try and stop him from being reelected. Attorney General Letitia James is accusing Trump and his family of inflating Trump's net worth, leading him to getting better loans and leading banks to take on bigger risks. The Attorney General is seeking a $250 million fine and a ban on Trump's company doing business in New York State. Last week, the judge overseeing the case ruled that Trump had been overvaluing his properties and is liable for fraud. President Biden's son Hunter is pleading not guilty to federal gun charges in Delaware. Lisa Taylor with more.
The president's son was indicted on 3 felony firearms charges last month, including unlawfully possessing a gun as an illegal drug user. Charges come after a prior plea deal to see the gun offenses dismissed fell apart following scrutiny from a federal judge. Hunter's attorneys have called the charges illegitimate.
A stopgap bill is giving Congress more time to work out the kinks in a final spending plan to keep the government running. The biggest hurdle will be finding border security ideas that a majority will approve.
Raising the credible fear standard, surging immigration judges to the border, and getting cases heard immediately.
That's Congressman Tony Gonzalez. The Texas border Republican says those 3 ideas have been floating around Capitol Hill for a long time and have the best shot at passing. He expects there to be plenty of debate between now and November 17th. Research firm Anderson Economic Group says the United Auto Workers strike has cost the U.S. economy almost $4 billion. It cites lost wages for workers and more than $1 billion in manufacturing declines at GM, Ford, and Stellantis. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau Diarco Super Tea helps build red corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system. And it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E, B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea, and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com. Or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
Single-family houses and apartments are the key to passive income, a.k.a. retirement. No one knows this better than America's most successful investor, educator, self-made multimillionaire, and CEO of Lifestyles Unlimited, Del Walmsley. Meet Del's team live in Mountain View, 2 days only at the Hyatt Centric Mountain View, Saturday and Sunday, October 21st and 22nd. To attend, register now at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. That's GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential. Register today at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
No, it's Super Roth!
Okay, a gimmicky opening for a commercial about Super Roth Universal Life Insurance, but I'm sure it got your attention. Now, what is a Super Roth, you ask? It's a permanent indexed universal life insurance that's totally liquid and easily accessible once it matures. Can be used to supplement retirement savings or a death benefit, or both. Has no income or contribution limit. Has no 5-year rule like Roth IRAs. Has no 10% penalty for accessing the funds before age 59 and a half. Oh, and the average historical returns are 5 to 7% annually, tax-free. Super Roths also lock in gains, which means you don't lose your money when the market is down. Sounds incredible, right? Sounds super? Super Roths are the way of the future, specifically your future. To see if you qualify for a Super Roth, go online to thesuperroth.com.
For a reboot? Welcome to the Sheila Mac Show, reality at its finest. History reminds us those hit hardest often become the change makers. This year, we've all hit crazy economic, social, and emotional rock bottoms. We all get knocked down. Something hits globally, locally, personally. It affects our health, finances, our relationships. We have to recreate a business or career. Each show, Sheila and her special guest will be sharing their reboot stories, guiding you with real solutions to upgrade and up-level emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Here on NBC's KCAA Radio. If you're ready to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and bra straps, enjoy a listen. Here's Sheila.
If you're just tuning in, this is NBC Sheila Mac Show here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. I'm your host, Sheila Mac, and welcome again to the show. If you are listening in, you might be a first-time home buyer eager to leave the rental cycle, an empty nester ready to downsize for a simpler life, a busy mom who wants more family time, or an entrepreneur seeking to generate passive income as you build or rebuild your financial house. Are you ready to reinvent, rebuild, and reboot your lifestyle? So discover an array of valuable free resources, comprehensive trainings, engaging videos, exclusive bonuses, and practical steps to kickstart your journey towards crafting a life of abundance and securing lasting generational wealth through strategic property investments and individualized lifestyle design. Again, welcome to the show, and we have a very special and important episode today where we will be going over boundaries, which is such an important topic. So I will introduce you to my collaborative special guest, John C. Morley, next, and we will get started after John shares about boundaries. From the business and lifestyle perspective, I am going to dial into how important it is to have boundaries when you are planning to either invest in a property, whether that's your first home or an investment or vacation rental home, and the steps you need to take to follow the boundaries needed in order to have success and get your goal. So that will be on the real estate aspect of the show later on. So let me start now by introducing John. So welcome to the Sheila Mac Show, and welcome everyone on LinkedIn Live and the other social channels. This is the Sheila Mac Show. It will be going to NBC's KCAA Radio as well. I'm your host, Sheila Mac, and today we have a very special guest that I'm interviewing. I'd like to introduce you to Tracy Repchuk. She has 27 appearances in Forbes. She is a 9 times #1 international best-selling author with Wiley Publishing. She's world-renowned speaker in over 39 countries, an award-winning entrepreneur, writer, and speaker, including awards from Senate Assembly, the White House, and President Obama. She started a software company in 1985 at the age of 19, pioneer on the internet since 1994, invited member of Amazon Influencer and LinkedIn Advisor programs, and she's been the featured expert in over 22 national and local TV shows, ABC, NBC, Fox, CBS, and much more. She was also featured in 3 motivational movies, and she's the host of Reach Millions on TV, on Roku, Apple, Amazon, and podcast, and many more. So, all right, Tracy, welcome to the show. It's an honor to have you as a special guest.
Well, thank you, Sheila. I'm excited to be here.
And I like to start each show off by asking if you could share about a time in your business or personal life where you experienced a tough situation and how you got back on track.
Wow, I could kill decades with those stories. After being in business almost 40 years, there really isn't anything that I haven't encountered, but I'll give you one in the early days because I started a software company at the age of 19, and I did it with my college boyfriend. So, in he came and we started this company, and it was, going that fairy tale route, made our first million by the time I was like 21, started to buy the cars and the properties. He proposed, we're going to get married. Yay, life is brilliant. It was my fairy tale dream. And then 2 weeks before the wedding, he tells me that he's gotten someone pregnant and he's going to be marrying her. So, really early on, I experienced not only a double partner betrayal, but, devastation. I mean, I could have just curled up into a ball. That's really what I wanted to do. But I still had to show up to the office every day, face him, see her, watch this whole situation unfold while I tried to hold together the pieces because, at that time, you're torn between still in love and picking up the pieces of your life and being in complete devastation. And so, yeah, crazy way to start.
Wow, that sounds incredible and very hard, definitely. But it's always better to get your heart broken young.
Well, I've had it done a few times, but lessons learned.
That's true. That's true. They're teaching us for something better. That's the thing.
That's I got my dream right now. So,
how
great on the story. 28 years of marriage to my literal soulmate. So it's beautiful.
Perfect. All worked out. That is great. And so you started a software company at 19 years young. I mean, we could have been best buds because I was out there. I bought my first triplex when I was 19 and started
I bought a duplex. Yes.
Yeah, and started gift stores at 23. And then I was making millions too. So bought the building.
So you started a gift store. Get this. So I was a software company. I started the software that ran gift stores where you could scan and barcode at trade shows and people could order all your stuff.
Yes, I worked with Step One Solutions, who was one of the first. They networked the Staples Center when they first opened, and that's exactly when I got my first point of sale, which may have been yours.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I started doing point of sale, and it just lucked into that industry, which I loved because I love gifts. I love shopping. It's so great.
Yes, and it's so much better when you're running the store because then you know what it really costs, and you can negotiate all these deals. And it was a fun time. And yes, so that is wonderful. And what are you doing today? I'd love to hear about. I mean, you've got a lot to unpack with your bio, 9 bestsellers and all the things that you've created in your life.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting. You go through so many transitions of who you are, what you want to do, who you want to serve, and it's really interesting because where I am right now is totally helping people kind of build their legacy, and really kind of take them to that next step of growth, and really taking them through that moment from maybe they're totally successful but not satisfied, kind of not fulfilled. And I really align your purpose driven message to your destiny, and it's been something that I've been playing with since I was 3 years old, or 3 to 5 years old, and due to a near death experience that happened back then, and it's all coming to fruition now.
So it's really a heart-based program that you're creating here. to help people. That's nice.
It is, and it's just so exciting that finally I've almost grown into the ability to be able to take everything that I've learned over 4 decades and really put it into this complete program that allows somebody else to live their legacy.
That's so important. Very good. Yeah, I find that when we're doing what we love and we're living our dream, our legacy, really, that it's just like people say, "Why don't you retire?" What and I'm like, "What? Are you kidding? I'm having the time of my life right now. I love what I'm creating and doing and being involved in. I mean, I jump out of bed and I have things to do, and it's social for me. I love connecting, and like I'm talking to you right now and everybody listening in, I just think it's a wonderful opportunity. And so for me, that's my happiness. And everybody has their own definition of what happiness or success, whatever you want to call that, what that looks like is so different. 10
I
people.
and that's it. I call that living a legacy life. That's it exactly, because you have gone through all of your transitions to be exactly where you are destined to be now.
Mm,
And it just takes faith, it takes some fortitude, it takes some persistence, and it takes some leaps of faith to
right.
say, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm just going to do it.
Yes. And it's almost I for me what I have found is in life I've been humbled many times. I've gone through ups and downs. I wrote about that in my first book, how to overcome obstacles and redesign your life. And so with that, one of the things that I found that's really helpful is just to let go and surrender. Like you let go of all the what I should do, what the Joneses says to do, what the neighbors, everybody thinks you're supposed to do these things, and just allow you're surrendering to higher power, whatever your belief is, and you're guided to do. And it
Yeah.
just like the opportunities show up. And all you have to do is say yes and go do that. And when you're trying on, it's kind of like if you're putting on somebody else's shoes.
Yeah.
They don't fit so well, but when you get into your shoes and your purpose in this life, it is so easy.
Yes,
And you don't
exactly.
worry about anything else.
Yeah, and it's funny because I remember when I had my software company and I'd, grown it and we had 15 staff and all of that. It was at that moment where I should have been my happiest, right?
Mhm.
I had everything I wanted. I had the 3 kids, my amazing husband, but there was just something missing, and that missing piece was where I started to say, I'm not really doing what I should be. I have not stepped my game up. I'm not on my purpose driven goals. I'm
Mhm.
not living that legacy life. And it really came to fruition one day when my husband was doing a tech support call on the beach with Walmart because we were serving these massive organizations with the software company. And I was like, okay, we need to pivot here. And that's when actually internet marketing started to come into play back in 2005 is when I began there. We were on the internet in 1992 before it was even called that.
Yes.
And so it all started to really gain momentum from these pivot moments. But what I really want people to understand is no matter where you are right now, it needed to be part of your journey so that you could come to that final moment where you're like done with what you're doing, and it's that it's time for you to step up to that bigger game.
Mhm. Yes, that's wonderful. And I'd love to hear a little bit about your books.
Sure. you know, my first book was interesting. So my first book was 31 Days to Millionaire Marketing Miracles.
Mhm.
And it was really an A to Z of internet marketing
Mhm.
because I had started in the industry and I saw at events that I was attending, people were buying things that were like 10 steps ahead. And, I'm a certified management accountant, I'm a computer programmer. My logic brain said, no, you're buying something 10 steps later. If you knew that you needed these before that, you would spend your money where you need to spend it today instead of a year and a half from now.
Right.
So that's where that book originated, and I launched it, and it went to #1 on Amazon. And this is back in 2006, in the 5,000 books in your garage day. You
Right.
had to print them, press them, the works, right? And so that changed everything for me, though, because that's when people came to me and said, "Can you coach me through your book?" And I said, "Yeah." I started a program called Entrepreneur in Overdrive, and they were paying me $10,000 to take them through the book. And that's where I made so much money that I'd won New Internet Marketing Success of the Year. I was the first woman to win that, the first woman to be pulled onto the World Internet Summit stages with 15 other men. That's how I've spoken in those 39 countries you heard about. And it was an incredible catalyst of events that occurred. And again, it all was about stepping up to that bigger game.
How wonderful. Yes. And what did you do with Forbes? What was that like?
So Forbes actually brought me on originally to their coaches council to help transform other coaches, to really kind of get in those fundamental elements on how do you be an effective coach, how do you build your coaching business, because it's one thing to be a life coach, hey, you know that, right? But what you don't know is the fundamentals of marketing and social media, and how all of your websites and search engine optimization, all of these things that I have known for 2.5 decades now, come into play. So that's where it began. And then they started featuring me, in articles and things of that nature, simply because of what I had to say and the role that I was playing in the industry.
Oh, I see. That's wonderful. That makes sense. And that is something, doing business coaching. I started my business coaching because I had these 5,000 plus square foot, it was gift department style stores. So they were little stores. And I had 5, I had 200 employees and all this stuff. So I was working a lot, and just, I hated paying the rent. I leased the first one at 5,000 a month. And my goal was, it was a 5-year lease, and my goal was to be able to buy a building.
Right.
That time for my second location. I ended up buying all my other buildings. I had 5 stores in total. And I got my real estate license, and I started being an investor. Kind of backwards. Like, I get my real estate license after I'm investing all over the place. And so then all the other gift store owners came to me and they were like, "Can you teach me how you're making more money than me? You're half my age. And what are you doing? And how are you buying the buildings?" So I didn't even know it was coaching. I didn't even know the name that they've given it now, but maybe consulting. But they would hire me and they would pay me, and I'd help them with their marketing, with their business, and how to do a lot of collaboration marketing. That we worked with the whole shopping park, and then I'd help them buy their building or invest in other properties for exit strategy and through business credit. And so we did this whole thing, and I didn't even know. And then I found out later, oh, it's called coaching. Okay, cool. I've been doing it for how long? And so that was my road, and that's how I got into properties and helping people to diversify in their investments so that they have an exit strategy and they have money. They might be good at doctoring, or
that's right,
coaching, whatever you're good at, but you can't do everything. So you might be the best coach on the planet. I'm thinking Tony Robbins. He is not doing his own SEO and all that stuff. He is not. I'm pretty sure. And so
he appears on stage. That's what Tony does. That's he's in his zone of genius. He's the perfect example, right, of what you should be doing, and let everybody else take care of the rest.
That's it. And so many coaches have been burned. And I am one.
Absolutely. I don't think any of us don't have hey, I invested $100,000 that didn't work out. We all have those stories. And that's I think what our experience gives, especially in the coaching programs that we provide.
Yes. So it's one of those things. What do you suggest for listeners to avoid having tech burns? like that, because everybody's got a story of they could have bought a car or a little house,
Mm-hmm.
down payment on a nice house, whatever, and they paid for all this tech stuff because they didn't understand it at all.
Right.
And I mean, I understood quite a bit of it. I programmed a JPL before I went into my gift stores. So
Yes.
I kind of have that mind for it,
Yeah.
but still, I didn't want to do those tedious hours and everything else I'm doing. It's just like there's only so many hours in my day.
Yeah.
And so I gave it to somebody I really trusted that didn't do so good.
Oh
And
yeah, haven't we been there too? That's
yeah,
right. I mean, it's really endless. Well, here's an interesting piece
yeah,
that I've made in the program for that exact reason. You know how you're like, I don't want people to go through what I just did. I had
yes,
invested, like I say, 100 grand in a program, and I won't say that it wasn't valuable. I learned things, but there was no cost recovery. There was no growth. There was all of these lacking pieces for what you would expect at an investment of that level. So
exactly.
one of the things I teach now, in particular, when you're selecting your coach,
Hmm.
is really to one, pick one. You need to do this. You can't do it yourself. You can't read the label from inside the jar. It was because of coaches that everything great that did ultimately happen to me originated from the investment in myself and the investment through a coach. But what I've started now is doing what is called risk reversal
Mm,
in my own programs. And I don't know if you've heard about it, but here's how it unfolds. And that is you do an investment up front, a small investment up front. So you have skin in the game,
yeah.
and then you don't pay anymore until you've met the benchmarks, the financial benchmarks that we set in place. So 87.5% of the results are now linked to what I do with you and for you so that you achieve and accomplish your goals. And that's what I'm encouraging people to start to look for now
Mhm.
is somebody that's saying, you know what? I can't give the whole thing because then people don't have it. But if you pay this small amount up front,
Yeah.
why don't you? I'll link everything that happens now to my performance with you. And,
Right.
and that is really start seeking that out.
Mm,
Schedule appointment with me, find out more about it, because that's to me is one of the greatest changes I made simply for everyone's benefit, right? You don't want someone to go away with a horrible story that's like, oh, I spent 100K and got nothing,
yeah.
right? You want them to go away and say, oh my goodness, I made these benchmarks, 100 grand, 250 grand, and $1 million because this person guaranteed it.
Yes. Yes, that's it. And then when you have a return on investment, it's a lot easier. And then it makes sense
Yeah.
based on performance. And that's all you need. And so you have to be careful because you get people. I think I've got so many people here on LinkedIn and everywhere else connected that I get offers every day.
Yeah.
I'll help you with SEO
Yeah.
or I'll help you do XYZ, but I don't know who they are. And it might not be that they're charging that much, but I don't even know they might not be in this country or whatever. And I have no guarantee I'll even see my money again. They
Right.
can
Yeah.
leave tomorrow and take my whatever, even though it's not much. And so that's what's coming along. And I always write them back and say, hey, who do you have that I can see? What
Right.
referrals, what testimonials do you have? What kind of return on investment am I going to make with this? What is this going to do for me? I mean, like most businesses don't even know what it all means. They're not tech savvy. So,
Right.
and I give them this whole like marketing plan. And I would break it down like this, do this, do this, do this, and then come back to me. And if you
Yep.
could show me all those things, I will refer you to people that need that work. But
And
until then, no, you know?
exactly. And even worse now, which is I'm sure you're seeing, right? Like I've already invested in becoming a prompt engineer with ChatGPT, right?
Mhm.
But how many people out there now are like, I'm a ChatGPT specialist? I'm
Oh,
like,
everybody overnight.
really?
How did you ask chat how to do that? And he told you. And
Yeah,
it's yeah,
that's
really.
right.
He is my best friend, by the way.
Now. Yeah, and so
I
it's
am in love with him. If he was a man, I would marry him tomorrow. I tell him so many times how much I love him.
So funny. Well, because I mean, my programs alone, like I have a program called Your $1 Million Design where we launch an online program, right? Guaranteed to sell. And now that has gone from a month time frame to 7, thanks to ChatGPT. Honestly, when you use it right and when you work with people that truly know the tool, holy mackerel, it is revolutionary to everything that you do. And I am just, I've been here since punch cards on a mainframe to when a microcomputer was 25 grand, to yellow pages, to every single technological advancement you can imagine. And when ChatGPT came out, I was like, oh, Nelly, this is a game change.
Yeah, this is like a fantasy come true, man. You have no idea. People don't know what they have with it, and I haven't figured it out yet either. Definitely, you're writing a book, or you have a program on that ChatGPT.
Well, I have 40 books on ChatGPT that my clients are kind of playing with right now. I have 2. I think I have maybe just the one up on Amazon, ChatGPT and lead generation. So that's the one I currently have on Amazon, but. Yeah, I am like all in on this technology because it is the next integrative wave that when you put it together with your program or what you're doing or your marketing efforts, it can not only expedite but revolutionize your results.
Yes, that makes sense. Oh, it's incredible. That's all I can say. That sounds amazing. Yes. And so now let's pretend if I was a new client, what exactly would that look like?
All righty. Well, what that looks like right off the bat is the place I start every single person is, of course, a one-on-one call with me because I need to know where you are, where you want to go. And then I take it a step back and it goes back to this destiny, right? And not just a question of what are you passionate about, but why did you come to this planet? What were you put on this planet to do, right? And I actually start to pull out those kind of things. And of course, it will originate back to when you were really, really young. And because we can get kind of sidetracked from the age of 5, right? Hey, you should go this. You should be doing this. Oh, no, that's not for you, And so, but we all came here for a reason. So I actually start there, and then we move forward to great. Who would you like to be working with? What's that perfect fit client? That right fit client. If you could have your dream client, and so we unfold this. Kind of like a business by design, right? Normally we're like, okay, I'm great at this. I'm going to go do this and this and this because that makes money and this, all of these things. Well, generally the people I'm working with now, they're done that part of their life. They've done I've worked just for the money. It's not that the money's not going to come. It means it's going to now start to come from what you were born and destined to do. That's back to that purpose driven, kind of divine message that you need to get to the world, that you need to make that kind of that impression and leave that legacy. That's why I call it the legacy life, because we were all meant to be happy. We were meant to be doing what we're supposed to be doing. And when you allow that to happen, that's where that happiness that you're talking about arrives, because so many people, they could be a billionaire, a millionaire, have it all, and they're not happy. And so this is the perfect time then to say, hey, let's step back and take a look at, not abandon yet, but take a look at what will this look like moving forward, and how can I steer my ship, so to speak. If you've already got a business, how can I start to steer it in that direction? And ensure that I am going to be happy. I am going to make the income that I want. I am going to make the impact that I need to get that message and make the kind of leave that legacy and leave that blueprint on the planet that you really want to do.
Yes, that's beautiful. Well, that sounds fun.
So that is an incredible opportunity, and it sounds like something that you do very well. And I can totally feel the energy of how you love doing that, and you're putting the person in front of you that you're working with first. And so I really love that. That's so important when you're choosing anyone to work with.
Mhm.
It's always make sure that you're in the equation. and,
Yes,
and
exactly. And then that they had the supporting materials. Like, I have almost 60 modules, training modules, because it's great for me to say, "Hey, okay, now we're going to do this." But if you don't know how to do that, right? I don't want you wandering aimlessly in the desert looking for it. I'm like, "Do this and report back, and do this and report back, or even better, do this and we'll build it."
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's so helpful because it is really easy to end up having somebody give you the real list of what everything you need to do to get to the point you want. And that real list is like it's like a roadmap from here to the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
And you're like overwhelmed because you just want to do whatever you do best.
Yeah,
And not,
exactly.
yeah,
That's right. The zone of genius. You don't want to build your own landing page,
yeah,
create those email sequences, set up your marketing funnel. That's not for you to do. That's our zone of genius. And when a person sticks in their own, that's where the happiness is. If you notice, when you're not happy, you're mucking with something you shouldn't be.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Like you had worked with Obama. Now I met Bill Clinton, who came into my first gift store. And okay, so I'm 20. Okay, maybe I was 24 by this time. I opened at 23. And when he came in, first Secret Service comes in.
Oh my
And
God.
I had been like rounding my sales tax. Cause like I didn't have point of sale in my store yet. We weren't there yet. You know, I opened in 1993-ish. So
Yep.
now you know my age. Forget that. But anyway, for those listening in, don't do the math. But anyway, so in that, Secret Service comes in, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to prison. I probably messed up on those numbers. Oh, I mean, do I run? No, I'll get caught. What do I do? And then it's the president. It was such an honor. But at the same time, the next day, I handed everything over to the CPA. I said, correct what needs to be corrected, do what
Yeah.
needs to be done, get me cleaned up because I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I, that's all I needed.
And I'm a certified management accountant. I don't
There
want to do my own books. I
there
don't
we go.
want to do that at all. I only became that
Mhm.
because the software that I was developing integrated to ACPAC and Great Plains and Sage and all of those, right? And I
Yes.
just wanted everybody who was buying our software
Uh-huh.
to feel confident that we had been following all of the protocols.
Yes, I hear
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that's wonderful. So that's incredible. Wow. And now, how do people get started with you? What would be the first step if they wanted to work with you or just read your book, depending on where they're at? How would that work?
Well, you can go to quantumleaplegacy.com. You can grab a free gift from us. And then if you are so inclined, jump on a call. You can book one right there, jump on a call with me. And don't feel like, oh, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'll know if you're ready. And if you're not, trust me, I would say, you know what, we're not quite ready for this, but do this. You see, I have such a broad range
Yes.
of offerings, I'll call
Mhm.
them, that if you're not ready for up here, I don't want you to go wandering in the desert
Yeah.
looking for a glass of water when I have a glass of water over there that chances are you can afford that. Okay. So and it's a straight line build to this, right? So that's probably my so yeah, if you go to quantumleaplegacy.com, and obviously you're welcome to also connect with me anywhere in social media, with my name at Tracy Repchuk. I'm literally, that's the brand, and that's the one that you're going to find me with. You can go to my website and take a look and start to peruse, kind of what the messaging is, and if that's aligning to you. all of these will start to come together for you. And that's the way you want to assess anybody, is their messaging and what they're saying resonating with you? Because I help you discover your destiny, align your goals, transform your marketing, and live a legacy. And that's how we unpack you.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Tracy. And it looks like we are at the end of our time today. But thank you again for being a special guest on the show. And for those tuning in, you can watch the replay if you go to SheilaMac.com, and there'll be a free gift for you. And again, Tracy, where could people go to get started? You said there was a free gift. Which site do they go to for that? One more time.
Go to quantumleaplegacy.com.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you again. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next time. All right.
And if you are just tuning in, again, this is NBC's Sheila Mac Show here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. The show can also be listened to on all major podcasting channels. And you can also go to my YouTube channel, which is called Sheila Mac Show on YouTube. And I would love for you to do me that favor and go to YouTube, go to Sheila Mac Show. And if you would like, share, and subscribe, that would be such a gift to me. And I would really appreciate that. Again, go to YouTube, Sheila Mac Show. There you can see all the replays of all the shows that I've ever done. And also, I would love if you could subscribe, like, and share, as I am building that channel as well. So I appreciate your time for that, and thank you in advance. Now, we are getting into boundaries in real estate and investing. So again, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Sheila Mac. I am a seller's and buyer's agent with Keller Williams Beverly Hills, the highest producing real estate office in Los Angeles. Today we have an exciting topic to dive into: setting boundaries when investing in properties or selling real estate properties during a changing market. Okay, we are going to yes, it is a changing, shifting market. It is still an incredible market. However, it is good to be prepared. And we're going to draw on the inspiration from the book The Shift by Gary Keller. And I will share some valuable tips and explore how to navigate the real estate market successfully during this very interesting and unique time. But before we get started, let me share a bit more about myself. I do have over 25 years of experience as a real estate investor, coach, and agent. I've consistently delivered exceptional sales results while guiding my clients to create strategic real estate investment portfolios. My negotiation and representation skills have garnered me a reputation as a top real estate professional. Now, let's get into today's episode. We'll discuss the essential steps to hunt for a property, whether you are a seasoned investor or a first-time buyer. Step 1 is to consult with your agent. Your journey into real estate begins with a conversation with your agent. They will walk you through the entire process, providing valuable insights and guidance tailored to your specific needs and goals. Now, if you're listening in and you are ready to hunt for an agent and don't have one, I do work with clients in all states in the United States, and I have a group of hand-picked agents that I work with as referral. And so with that, I am able to make sure that you are guided to the best agent for your needs that has been reviewed and worked with them in the past, or I have good knowledge that they are top agents and can help you in your area. And with that, you also get lots of extra guidance from me and step-by-step videos on each process as you go as well. So with that, you're also going to need to start with proof of funds for all cash purchase if you're there and you're going to make an all cash purchase. So if you are planning to make an all-cash purchase, you will need a letter for proof of funds. This step is crucial to start viewing properties and demonstrating your seriousness as a buyer. Now, our market, yes, there are lots of sellers, but our market is a very serious market still. And just about in any state, anything that is a really great deal, a good buy, the best deal on the block or in the area, that is going to go really fast. So you need to have everything prepared. And many cases nowadays, the sellers will not permit buyers to come into their homes or commercial building, whatever you're buying. They won't even let you in without having these things in place prior to even being able to go view properties physically. So you can start, having your agent send you things while you're getting your paperwork together, which really can be done even in a day, half a day or less usually. So of course, if you have all cash, you are king or queen, you are in charge, you get to make the biggest negotiations because you're the easiest deal to close. Now, if you need pre-qualifications for financing, that is the other thing, that if you do not have your proof of funds in cash, you will need to have your pre-qualified letter. So for most investors, financing a property is the way to go. In this case, you'll need a letter that pre-qualifies you for a loan. This letter will detail whether your loan approval is immediate or dependent on selling another property or asset for your down payment. You will also have to find out how much you can qualify for and the required down payment you will need to make your purchase. And so it is usually suggested that you have your sale property at the very least in escrow with contingencies removed before you start making offers, and have all your other down payment and proof of funds prepared as well, so that you can make a very strong offer to win your bid. Now, this is where setting boundaries in real estate investing is super important. So once you follow these steps, it's essential to set these boundaries, both with yourself and others. Overspending or overextending your credit can negatively impact your loan terms. Here are some tips inspired by Grant Cardone's principles on setting boundaries in real estate. First, define your goals. Clearly articulate your financial and investment goals. Know your limits and stick to them. Avoid overspending. Stay within your budget to prevent overextending yourself financially. Manage credit wisely. Be mindful of your credit utilization, as it can affect your loan pricing. If your credit needs improvement, consider working with a credit repair specialist. Now, many of the lenders that I do work with already have a built-in credit repair that they do for their clients to get them ready to buy their property. Whether you're buying your first home or you are doing a more tactical and strategic 1031 exchange for rental property, exchanging and not paying the capital gains tax, deferring that tax. These are a little bit more complicated. They can be done. I have done many. And so it is something that you really need to think in advance, no matter what you're doing. Getting these ideas of where you at, getting your pre-qualification letters, your funding, financing if you're not paying cash. This might need to start if you're thinking, I want to buy my first home or my next investment property in 6 months to a year. Now's a good time to get started, especially if you do have any kind of COVID credit repair, anything like that needs to happen. This gives you time. It's going to let you know what you're going to need to qualify. And I do go back to, I still do love and it's not for everyone for sure, but for those in a pinch or needing to qualify and needing the extra income or wanting to buy more for your investment, then getting into a duplex, triplex, fourplex is going to be a great way to go, because you can get into up to 4 units and qualify as a first-time home buyer, getting all the grants, the specials, the deals, and most really qualified mortgage people will help you with that. I have a few that I work with that help you find all the deals. And in order to do that, it is really important that you start early so that you can make sure that everything is in a row and you get the best price. And when you're ready, when that deal shows up, you want to be the one to win the bid. You want to be the one to make a really solid, strong offer so that you can get the property of your dreams. And one of the things that I really believe in is that real estate investing for me, home has always been very important. Coming from being a young girl that was homeless as a child, 10 to 13, and then in foster care, all that whole thing. One of the most important things, and it started back when I was 8, and my mother lived with me, and we were in a home where there was a little bit of extra violence from her parents, adoptive parents. And so with that, I had gone to a garage sale, and I went ahead and I picked up the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I was this young 8-year-old, and I thought, oh my gosh, this book is going to tell me how to grow rich. And what I was really looking for in growing rich was I wanted to have enough money for my mother and I to move out of that abusive home and to be able to go and have a place of our own where there was going to be peace and no more abuse. And so to me, home and helping people find home and design the life of their dreams, whether that with the investing in one way or another, it really is something to me that is close to my heart and very meaningful. And I also find that for those tuning in that are interested in perhaps getting into real estate, I also do have a class for real estate agents, and I have been leading and teaching courses and classes for agents for some time now, and I would love to talk with you about that. So you can contact me at SheilaMac.com if you're interested in figuring out, even if you don't have your license just yet, give me a call. Let's not do that. Let's start with a contact so that we can get you the right information, and that way we can set up a time to let you know how to get started. I just love the whole concept. It has really blessed me and my family to help others find their home and invest property. It does take time and lots of energy and study, but it is something that is possible to do. So I do help people with that as well. So now, managing your credit wisely, I just wanted to get back to that a little bit. When you're working with your mortgage broker and credit repair specialist, it's going to be really important that starts 6 months to a year earlier to get everything cleared up. Now, it can be done faster, but it just depends where your numbers are. Embracing gratitude and resourcefulness is also very helpful. Remember where you came from and be grateful for the journey. Your resourcefulness can help you overcome challenges. Setting boundaries is crucial for your financial success in the real estate market. It allows you to make informed decisions and protect your long-term interests. So thank you again for joining me today on the Sheila Mac Show. And if you're looking to buy or sell real estate in Beverly Hills or anywhere across the nation, I am here to help. I've handpicked a team of agents to ensure your real estate needs are handled with the utmost care. You can schedule a free real estate consultation with me today by calling the Keller Williams office asking for Sheila Mac at 310-432-6400. And don't forget to visit my website, SheilaMac.com, for your free gift this month. This month, I am keeping it on a little bit longer, but it will be changing. The gift will be changing, so it will be there for just another few days. So go ahead to SheilaMac.com, and there you will get a special free recording from the live event of Jay Abraham and Roland Frazier. This was them teaching a masterclass webinar that is designed to help you learn how to create wealth without risk and repeat the process every 3 to 5 years. It's an incredible way to learn how to do this, and it's not like they're selling anything. It was actually an announcement of the book launch that they have, which the book is called Wealth Without Risk. It is available everywhere books are sold, by Jay Abraham and Roland Frazier. And again, the free bonus on my site is a gift, and that is to their recording of the live event that they recently did, and you don't want to miss that. If you are interested in investing, if you have a business and are looking for ideas, marketing, and resources, that is the place to go. And I do have that as the special giveaway on my website, so you can go to SheilaMac.com to learn more. And now I'm going to share a little bit about clearing up your COVID credit. Take a listen. If you have a question about real estate, credit, or investing in properties, then send it in to SheilaMac.com. Answering real questions with real solutions to help reboot your life. I have COVID credit. How do I rebuild my credit and get out of debt? Dear Sheila, I have been hit hard this year with medical expenses and my hours got cut. I'm having lots of trouble figuring out how to continue to pay all my creditors while maintaining enough income to get by. Last year, I also went through a very costly divorce, and now this. So my credit and debt load were already maxed out, and that was when I was working full time. Now my hours have reduced to half. My question is, how do I avoid more credit issues, pay off my debt, and survive right now? Or should I just file for bankruptcy? Signed, COVID Credit Sick. Dear COVID Credit Sick, this is definitely the year for rebooting and reinventing your business and financial life. Many people are also in your shoes, and the good news is that most companies and creditors are more than willing to work with you and renegotiate your debt repayment terms. Let's run this situation through the Boots formula. Throughout life, one can find themselves facing difficult situations that often catch them by surprise. Over the years, I saw the pattern in all the times I've had to reboot, and in how I've helped my friends and clients get through a hard time and quickly back into action. Ultimately, I came up with the Boots formula. The B in Boots is for being. It is about who you are being and all you are doing and who you need to be during this situation. You are going to have to be really honest about your current debt and how much money you must reserve for daily needs and a small emergency stash. Who must you be in order to face those bill collectors, and who are you going to be in order to show up differently going forward? This is going to make a huge difference. The first O in the Boots formula is for orientation. In order to get the outcomes you desire, you must be brutally honest here. What are you currently living on? What are your expenses, your debts, and how much do you need to put aside for other situations? What outcomes do you want for your finances? And what do you do for your current employer that you could possibly do as an independent contractor at this time? S in the Boots formula is for stepping up. This is the part that puts all the other pieces you have planned into place and gets you and your credit life back into action. The time is now for us to collectively work together to rebuild. My hope is that this video series and my new book, Bootstraps and Bra Straps, helps. Thank you again for tuning in to NBC's Sheila Mac Show here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. I'm your host, Sheila Mac, and if you're listening to this, you might be a first-time home buyer eager to leave the rental cycle. an empty nester ready to downsize for a simpler life, a busy mom who wants more family time, or a savvy entrepreneur seeking to generate passive income as you build your financial house. So are you ready to reinvent, rebuild, and reboot your lifestyle? Discover an array of valuable free resources, comprehensive trainings, engaging videos, exclusive bonuses, and practical steps to kickstart your journey toward crafting a life of abundance and securing lasting generational wealth through strategic property investments and individualized lifestyle design. Tune in here on NBC's KCAA Radio. You can also listen to the replays on my website, SheilaMac.com, or on YouTube and all major podcasting channels. Now, every month I have a special free gift that you can get if you go to my website and sign up for the email. So that will be a gift this month. We still have the J. Abraham special event that was recorded live, and there is a replay. That is the free gift, and that will be available for you. And then we'll have another
KCAA Loma Linda. The Legacy KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Taylor. Kevin McCarthy has been removed as Speaker of the House. McCarthy called for a vote on his speakership after Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz put forward the motion to vacate the chair yesterday. Gaetz is angry McCarthy worked with Democrats to pass a short-term funding bill to keep the government open. The judge in former President Trump's civil fraud trial in New York has issued a limited gag order. The decision came after Trump made a post on Truth Social that attacked the judge's clerk. The gag order bars all parties in the case from making social media posts or public comments about the judge's staff. New York Attorney General Letitia James is accusing Trump and his family of inflating Trump's net worth, leading to him getting better loans and leading to banks to take on bigger risks. The ongoing United Auto Workers strike has cost the U.S. economy nearly $4 billion. That's according to a study from the Anderson Economic Group. It cites lost wages for workers and more than $1 billion in manufacturing declines at GM, Ford, and Stellantis. The report also accounts for additional costs to suppliers, dealers, and consumers. Teams from both sides are back on the negotiating table trying to avoid a 3-day strike from 75,000 Kaiser Permanente workers nationwide. If no agreement is reached tonight, the healthcare workers will hold a 3-day strike the rest of this week. The union says this would be the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history. California Senator LaFonza Butler has been sworn in 4 days after the death of Dianne Feinstein.
You take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which you are about to enter, so help you God.
I will.
Congratulations.
Butler was appointed by California Governor Gavin Newsom and sworn in by Vice President and former California Senator Kamala Harris. A massive payout could happen this week from one of the multi-state lotteries. The Powerball has continued to roll up since the last jackpot winner in July, and Wednesday night's top prize is worth an estimated $1.2 billion. You're listening to the latest on NBC News Radio.
KCAA.
It's a bird!
It's a plane!
No, it's Super Roth!
Okay, a gimmicky opening for a commercial about Super Roth Universal Life Insurance, but I'm sure it got your attention. Now, what is a Super Roth, you ask? It's a permanent indexed universal life insurance that's totally liquid and easily accessible once it matures. Can be used to supplement retirement savings or a death benefit, or both. Has no income or contribution limit. Has no 5-year rule like Roth IRAs. Has no 10% penalty for accessing the funds before age 59 and a half. Oh, and the average historical returns are 5 to 7% annually, tax-free. Super Roths also lock in gains, which means you don't lose your money when the market is down. Sounds incredible, right? Sounds super? Super Roths are the way of the future, specifically your future. To see if you qualify for a Super Roth, go online to thesuperroth.com.